political parties today, you know what they talk about every day? Jangan cabar orang Melayu. Don't challenge the Malays about local government election or prime ministership. No.
Well,
And then we talk about Christmas greeting, cakes. How can a country progress when every day we talk about nothing? Good morning, Malaysia. Good morning. Today, we are back at Zaid Ibrahim Podcast. My name is Zaid Ibrahim. This is Dr. Rosli. And we've got a very interesting subject to talk to you today. But first, I want to wish you all Happy New Year. Yes, Dr. Rosli, what say you?
yeah, very good morning and Happy New Year. Selamat Tahun Baru 2024. And I think, Dato', what are the inspirations for you for 2024? For me, I think Malaysia is in a good hand. We have got a stable government, and the PM himself has been going overseas to bring back a lot of investment. Recently he went to Japan and brought back about 29 billion US dollars. Although I must say that the RM to US dollar is still high at 4.7, 4.8. So, but my own calculation is that based on what he has done in 2023, he went to China, he brought back more than 100 billion investment. Before that to US and so on. My own calculation is that he must have done about more than 200 billion of investment for the coming 2024. So we are really in good hands. What do you think?
I think you're right. I think if we have that kind of investment coming in, we should be all right. Yeah. Although I would still, this fixation about foreign investment, I think is good lah. I mean, we like to talk about it. We like to travel, and we like to meet foreign leaders. But I also would like the government to tell us a bit more about domestic investment. I mean, what do we do as a country? What are we investing on? I mean, what sectors are we giving priority?
As they say, the devil is in the details, right?
Yeah.
So we do not know the details of some of these investment, where they're going to be located, what sort of industries, what sort of sector, how many people will be employed locally. I mean, we know for the fact that ECRL has not brought, even though the investment was big, more than 100 billion. We know very little local people are employed in ECRL construction. So everything is done from China, all the Chinese workers, Chinese managers, even the food suppliers, I heard they are brought from China to serve the Chinese workers. So for this new investment, I'm not sure. We are kept in the dark, except for the numbers that have been thrown at us.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, let's wait and see lah. Okay. Let's wait and see. Yeah. We have a new cabinet lineup now.
Yeah.
So we are looking forward to a more energetic team.
Yeah.
Although I'm not quite sure where Gobind Singh is going to fit into all this, because
Minister of Digital.
Yeah, because I quite like him. He's a nice guy, and a good lawyer. But now I don't know whether he's in charge of what, because I know this is an exciting portfolio. It's called digital, but is he in charge of MCMC, for example? Is he in charge of the more lucrative business of the country? I don't know, because we have two now. We have Fahmi Fazil in charge of communication.
Yeah.
And Mr. Gobind, and I'm not sure which part of the communication that is not digital.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, and I don't know whether Gobind has his own KSU or whatever, because it's very difficult to work unless you have your own civil servants with you.
Yeah.
I remember those days when I was made a minister, and one of the first things I asked for is whether they could put me not as a minister in the Prime Minister's office because I would just be a department head.
Yeah.
I thought that if you are interested in real law reform, you would need your own team of advisors, civil servants, KSU, budget. Then we can plan law reform properly.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't get what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I can understand the problem that Gobind will face.
Yeah.
Unless this government, this Madani government, explicitly give him what the scope of the digital portfolio, what is it, and the budget and the team.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise Gobind is going to be afraid.
You work in silo, in isolation. Yeah.
Okay, so there are many things we can look forward to 2024. For example, we have a situation now in Palestine. You know, I hope the Muslim parties, the Malay parties, and the Muslim groups in the country do get united and do something more vigorous, more serious about helping the Palestinian cause. This is a tipping point, actually. For the first time, the world is backing Palestine. For the first time.
Yeah.
For the first time, the United Nations, General Assembly, and the Security Council, with the exception of the veto from America, you know, everybody is now supporting Palestinians.
Palestine,
Whether a two-state solution or whether it is a one-state democratic entity together with the Israeli, I don't know. But it's important that we look forward to this with hope. And that's where I'm a bit disappointed that PAS and UMNO and Bersatu, they're all Malay parties, Muslim parties, all they talk about Islam and the priority given to the affairs of the Muslim. But they do cosmetic response. You know, you have a Friday prayer, then you have some assembly of 500 fellas, and you chant slogans. And you have to do more, I thought. You have to do more to show your disgust at the genocide. You show your anger, your unhappiness about how women and children, at this point in time, I think more than 18,000 people have died. This indiscriminate bombing.
Yeah.
This has never happened. So the last time this sort of thing happened, even during the Second World War, even when the Nazis were killing the Jews, they were isolating the Jews from the rest. There was no indiscriminate gassing.
Well, the critics are saying that it's been going on for the last, 40, 50 years,
50 years,
and it never get resolved. So how do you think that it will get resolved in 2024 and 2025 maybe?
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful because I don't think it's sustainable. You can bomb, you can kill all the Palestinians, but the fight of the Palestinians is not just about Gaza or West Bank. It's about an idea that you cannot exterminate the people. Ethnic. You cannot.
Ethnic cleansing.
And which is what the Netanyahu is trying to do. You know, so I think the time will come when the world will work together. And I think America, if America is independent enough of the Jewish lobby, I doubt they are. But if they are, then they will also look at their own interests. And perhaps they will say, okay, now is the time for Netanyahu to go.
You can have double standard.
Not too much of it. Okay, what are the other things you think that 2024 can bring us hope, Mr. Rosli? What are the things you think that you're looking forward for Malaysia?
2024?
Yeah.
Well, certainly on the economic side, I would like to see that Malaysia is progressing much better than 23, certainly better than 2022. The forecast has been that, we are growing, our GDP is growing at 4.5%. But the reality on the ground is that, the cost of living is still increasing and the government is still undecided about the subsidy issues. We have to resolve this once and for all so that we can move on. They've been talking about petroleum subsidy, taking away petroleum subsidy, and then they've been talking about providing handouts directly in cash to specific group of people, which has not happened. You know, the 100 ringgit that was given recently is minuscule, you know, compared to the suffering of the people, what they call the B40 group. So I would like to see that, you know, the government take decisions in some of these issues rather than leave it hanging and, you know, continue to have the old method of managing the economy, you know.
Okay. Oh, that's very good. I mean, we want to see a more decisive kind of government.
Yeah.
Government that makes decisions.
Government that make decisions.
Yeah, it's okay to make a wrong decision, but the worst kind is the kind that doesn't decide.
Yeah.
And I think, well, this is where we need the Prime Minister to perhaps stay a bit longer in Malaysia, you know, and
a bit more hands-on, maybe. A bit more focus and hands-on.
Yeah. I think that would be good for the country. Now, one other thing that I think is good, the development that I see is good, is that I see there's a few new political parties being formed. You know, I read the other day there's this Green Party.
Green Party, the Green Party of Malaysia,
Yeah, and then there is this Malaysian Indian People's Party.
Indian People's Party, yeah.
And so I think this is good because sometimes we rely too much on the old brand. And the old brand has failed to excite us, really.
Yeah.
I mean, past.
But why, in your opinion, that new parties keep coming up in Malaysia? Is it?
Because I think people are just fed up with the ones they have. I think we have a situation today where even obviously the Indians are not happy with MIC. That one we know for some time. And I think the Chinese have moved from MCA to DAP. But at the rate things are going, they're not going to stay with DAP either.
But if you can just summarize in a few words, in one sentence maybe, what is exactly wrong with the political parties in Malaysia today? Is it because of the control by the president, by the chairman of the party, or is a one-way method of control coming from the top to the bottom, or is it something?
I think it's difficult to put in one short sentence, Doc, but I can say this. I think the political parties in Malaysia have become anemic. No life.
No life, yeah.
You know, and why is that there's no life? Because one, the leaders don't change.
Okay.
Because they always, after every few years, they will say, president
but
and
they keep postponing the election.
They postpone the election. They don't change the leadership. So if you don't change leadership, you have the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the second cause of the problem in our country is that political parties are controlled by the registrar of societies.
Registrar of societies, yeah.
There's no really democracy at work. But the registrar, of course, is controlled by someone else.
It's not independent.
It's not independent.
Yeah.
This is what I keep on saying. You know, one of the most important positions in our country is the registrar of society. That's why, if you look at the constitution, the king appoints the registrar of society.
Yeah.
The king appoints all the big guns, the Chief Justice, Prime Minister. Yeah. But the registrar of society is one of them. And the reason for the king to appoint the registrar is to show the people that we are committed to democracy.
Yeah.
We are committed to representative government. We are committed to organizations, civil societies.
Yeah.
So we have one man who can assure no interference from politicians, no interference from cartel.
But they place ROS under Ministry of...
Yes, this is the problem.
Ministry of Home Affairs.
Many years ago, they put...
The minister will continue to interfere.
Yeah, they put under the minister and they put in certain changes to the Societies Act, which makes the registrar quite quite
Subservient to the minister.
very subservient, and he cannot do much
Yeah.
because his hands are tied.
Yeah.
So until we change all these democratic institutions like the Registrar of Society, our political parties will always be mediocre, will always be dictatorial.
So this is very fundamental.
Yeah.
This is very fundamental to the system.
And for that reason, I think we have this frustration.
Yeah.
And so people start forming parties, party this,
Yeah.
party this. But I think it's good. I mean, we can't change the law now because we are not in power. And unfortunately, those people in power today, when they were in government opposition, they were very.
But if you are setting up something for the future, now is perhaps the best time because the current government has got the 2/3 majority in parliament.
Of course, if they want to change, if this government wants to change, wants to do real reform, of course, this is the best time.
Yeah.
But they don't want to, I think. They don't want to, or they I don't know, they have this fear. Sometimes the government lives in fear.
But at some point, we have to set the agenda, right?
Yeah. If we think about the people, yes, we have to. Political parties today, you know what they talk about every day? Jangan cabar orang Melayu. Don't challenge the Malays about local government election or prime ministership. No.
Well,
and then we talk about Christmas greeting, cakes.
Yeah.
How can a country progress when every day we talk about nothing?
Yeah.
How can? So
it's just advice. Don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah,
don't comment
this. Don't do that.
Comment that.
This.
Yeah.
And this is where I think we need leadership. The leadership that says this is the way that we're going to move forward. And this is what changes we have to undertake.
Yeah.
Although difficult,
Yeah.
So I'm still hopeful, but we'll see how it goes.
You mentioned the local government election. I think we ought to talk about that in the next episode.
Okay, talk now. We can talk now. No. I am all for local elections.
I'm all for local elections. Yeah, I like to see that happening because I think, I think the majority of the people in this country, the Malays, are misled by the political leaders.
Yeah.
Because the political leaders are saying that don't go for local election without clear understanding what the local election is all about. They kept going back to the last local election, which was in 1963. I think 61, 63.
Yeah.
And at that time, there were very few Malays living in the urban areas.
Yeah.
Right? So now the situation has changed so much so that the Malays living in the urban areas are poorly represented by the parties that they want to support.
Yes.
If you talk about KL, if you talk about Seremban, if you talk about Penang, Ipoh, Johor Bahru, and so on, the major cities in the country, the Malays are there. And for some of these places, they form the majority in the urban areas, but they are not well represented.
Yes.
Local election will represent them.
Yes, I think this is very important. I think one, of course, local election is a representative government.
Yeah, representative government.
If you have election in Selangor, which has the highest GDP, but the second highest is Wilayah.
Yeah.
And yet Wilayah doesn't have an election.
Yeah.
You have a mayor and you have a minister. I don't know what he does or she does.
Yeah.
But that's not how we should govern.
No.
I mean, if we have election in the states, then Wilayah is also a state.
Yeah.
So if people in Selangor can vote twice, one for state assembly, the other for parliament, why can't you give the same right to
the local authorities,
to the people in Wilayah?
Yeah.
But I think, most pressing argument is this. Local election is one way to eliminate or at least reduce corruption.
Yeah.
Because this, you see, when you are appointed, when you are not accountable really, except to the minister or to the prime minister, you can make whatever decision you want.
Yeah.
And there are many, many such instances of abuse of power in all these local councils.
Local council, yeah.
They give to their parties, they give to their clan, they give to this. There's nothing you can do. if there is an election, at least there's a possibility that somebody will come and argue and campaign.
Yeah.
No, I think I should be the councillor, not this fellow, because this is what I will do.
Yeah.
So there's a debate on the issue.
Yeah.
There's a debate whether we should have that drain, or whether that drain should be 5 meters long or 50 meters long, or whether we should do this apartment 50 stories or whatever, or we should just do less, or whether the apartment should be priced to be affordable to local Malay. Now that's what local government elections will do. And yet, this, I call them selfish politicians.
Selfish policy,
Like you said, though, they go around telling Malays, if we have election in KL, we will lose. The Malays will lose.
No, it's not true. I have personal experience on this because I live in an area where I'm not the majority. I'm the minority. But when it comes to residents' association, for some reason, because I think I've been quite vocal in our resident association, and majority of them decided to appoint me as the chairman of the resident association. And as a chairman of the resident association, I have to represent my area to the local authority. And this includes all the problems associated with water supply, with infrastructure, with power, with landscape, with so many issues, rubbish collection and all these things and so on. And I discovered that I think the Chinese generally, because they are so involved in their business, day-to-day business, they don't actually want to carry this burden of getting involved in politics, if you know what I mean. So then I understand that why they selected me, a non-Chinese, to represent them, to the local authority. So this brings us to the bigger issue that do the Chinese really interested in politics, in the local election politics? I think my perception is that no, they are not. They want everything to be fair and done, done fairly and accurately without, discriminating certain section of the housing estates in the local authority and so on. Everybody will be treated equally.
Yes. I think the other thing is this, I just want to say the last point on this, is that it is not true that the urban cities, urban areas, the Malays are in minority. It's not true.
No.
If you look at the population of Wilayah, the non-Malays and Malays are about 50-50.
50-50, yes, that's right.
Now, even if you look in places like Penang, maybe, in some areas in
some
Penang.
areas,
But what about the mainland Penang? The Malays are more.
The Malays are more.
So why can't you have local elections there?
Local election,
So if your argument is that, Malays, we cannot have local elections, Malays will lose out, it's a false argument.
It's a false argument,
So okay lah. I hope
next
2024. But I just want to see this lah. I want to see this. Who's the minister in charge of local government? What's her name? What's his name? It's a DAP guy. Mr. Ngo. Yeah, DAP guy. No.
Ngah Komeng?
I think so.
Ngah Komeng is a housing and local government.
Yes. He should bring this agenda forward. He should go and see the Prime Minister. I said, this is what I want to do for the country. And, some Malay political parties will oppose. For example, I don't understand why past government wouldn't want a local election in Kota Bharu.
Yes.
Because Kota Bharu is 99% Malays.
Yes, that's right.
So you have an election. But you know why they don't want? Because they can appoint. As a politician. Okay, I like Dr. Rosli. He's my neighbor. I'll make him the whatever. So this is the abuse that I think we should eliminate. Because
that breeds corruption.
It breeds corruption. It breeds mediocrity. It makes Malaysia second class, third class. So we should have local election.
I think on that note, I agree. We should have local election.
So I think on that note too, I think we should finish this discussion on the 2024. We can come back next time. And I hope you will press follow, and then you press subscribe, you press share, you press whatever you need to press, so long as you follow us every day of the week. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Malaysia. Good morning. Welcome back to Zaid Ibrahim Podcast. Again, with me today, Dr. Rosli Khan. And don't forget to press like, follow, share, and
Subscribe.
subscribe. Oh yeah, subscribe. Very important you subscribe.
Yeah.
Then you can follow us every week. But before I come to that topic, I've got some inquiries or questions posed to me by some friends. He said, "Why do you do it in English?" This podcast is very special.
Yeah.
Most people will use bahasa. Yeah. After all, you don't want to be accused of not respecting bahasa.
We can speak Bahasa too. I mean,
No, but we have a special reason why we're using English.
okay.
Not because we have no respect for other languages, including mother tongue. It's because Malaysians generally, particularly the Malays, they don't communicate very well in English.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking generally. I'm not talking about those people in Brahman Sarahide or Klang Valley. I'm talking about throughout the country, the Malays' communication skill, particularly in the English language, is very low. And this is evident from the previous, surveys and findings made why some Malay graduates couldn't get good jobs, why they didn't do so well during interviews, especially in the private sector.
Yeah.
And this many of the instances in the past, the report came back and said that, because they couldn't talk well, they couldn't communicate well. So I thought, let's try and speak English. We are not great communicators ourselves, but at least we can try to encourage younger Malays to speak English. There's nothing wrong with it. Knowledge is about the only thing we need really to succeed. And the knowledge is only accessible, not only, but mainly accessible in English if you are in Malaysia.
Yeah.
The internet, the Google, the whatever, Apple, all the lines of communication, the chat, GPT, whatever resources that we have is all in English. So we need the language.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we hope that speaking English, it will encourage. And it's also my own history. I came from the Kampong Malay school, and fortunately those days, even in small towns, they had this library, public library, they call it Carnegie Library, no more nowadays. And that's where a lot of books were available for anybody to walk in and read.
Yeah.
And I think in some ways, I think I was able to become a lawyer and to make a living for myself, my family, is because of my
Command of English.
And I was able to pass exams because of the command in language. So I think it will benefit Malays if they speak English.
True. I remember during my time, I came from a Malay school as well, and from undeveloped part of the country. And the reason why I could come up is because of the language, the command of the English language. And I think during that time, a lot of Malay boys were very good in English. I was not among the top. I'm sure about that. And they outdo the other wrestlers in the country when it comes to debating, when it comes to quizzes, when it comes to a lot of activities that require English as the language. The Malays came out top.
Yeah.
So I was very proud at that time that you could participate. Rather than get left behind, you could participate and get involved in some of those activities. We even had drama in English.
Yeah. It was a bit more wholesome syllabus. And unfortunately also is our culture, our system in schools, we emphasize more on memory.
Yeah.
And if you can memorize, if you can write, then you do well.
Yeah.
But But that's just one part of the equation.
Yeah.
The ability to communicate is very, very important.
Very important.
You know?
Yeah.
So until the Malays learn how to talk and communicate ideas properly,
Yeah.
they will never be able to understand concepts well.
Yeah.
And if they don't understand it well, there will always be differences of opinion, and they will lead to conflicts. It will lead to difficult, all because of misunderstanding of the nuances of the, of the language. So I hope this Madani government will make sure English has that priority. Imagine, Anwar Ibrahim speaks English in San Francisco, Apex Summit. He speaks with flair.
Yeah.
He can quote Shakespeare. He can quote. But how many Malays can do that?
Yeah, that's right.
So Anwar has to bring up the Malays to his level.
Of course.
What do you think?
Yeah, of course, I agree. But even if you want to speak in Bahasa, right, you have to be extremely good in Bahasa in order to lead the rest of the country to speak Bahasa.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
If your Bahasa is lousy, then how can you take the lead to tell other people in the country that you need to speak that language? At the moment, a lot of people can't even command a good Bahasa.
Yes.
They lack that.
I think this is again the issue of communicative skill.
Communicative skill and the ability to speak,
to
articulate, and so on.
And until the schools and the colleges address this issue, we're going to have. Yeah.
But if you talk about, if the critics say that you have to focus on Bahasa, but today the Bahasa is not nowhere because of the practices that have been done in schools and places like that. You don't even get Malay drama anymore now. Yeah. So how do you command and how do you articulate the skills in Bahasa?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Because I remember those days, when they have this award.
Yeah.
People like whether it's Shannon or Christmas or all the top
Osman
writers,
Awang,
they write brilliantly. They write brilliant Malay.
But they can also speak English.
Yes. But today, I don't know where the replacement,
No.
I mean, it's like we are not interested in those things anymore.
No. It seems like we have abandoned.
There may be some good writers and novelists and, or people of that caliber, but I don't know them.
Yeah.
And the government, I think, should. Do we have a Minister of Culture?
Minister of Arts, Tourism and Culture, yeah.
No, we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe we should have someone who understands literature as well.
But the syllabus in school nowadays has departed so far away from all this, the so-called skills in language.
Yeah.
They don't have debating society, they don't have drama society.
They don't have music.
They don't have a lot of these things.
Yeah.
So how do we, create leadership for the future?
Yeah. Okay, that's the language issue. I think we have covered, or rather, we have given some explanation as to why we use this forum or this podcast in English.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you this. One of the most mystifying to me is this: that our political parties, before Merdeka, you have UMNO, you have PAS. These are all parties.
All parties, yeah.
What is mystifying, or what is, to me, unfortunate, is that I don't see changes in them. I don't see them moving to the next level, or differentiate themselves from the past.
Yeah.
Their policies, the language they talk about, the issues, there is all the same since 1950s.
Yeah.
Why is that?
If you look, I think it's quite similar to products in the market. Some products, when you launch the product, the people become more aware, and they have the desire to use that product, so they take the action to purchase the product. And at some point, the branding stays with the consumers. But after a while, there is a downward trend for those products where new products start to come into the market. So in the case of political parties, the regeneration of those parties are very, very important. And one aspect of regeneration is to bring in new blood into the party, new leaders, new crop of more capable people with different ideas to how to rejuvenate the party into the future. But we are lacking in that, I think. I mean, if you look at some of these parties, they are not doing that. The same people want to continue to lead the party for 20 years. That's not good for the party.
Yes. I mean, if you are Lee Kuan Yew, I suppose it's okay.
He's one of the few, right? So
I think the people don't mind. I think the people don't mind someone stays for a while and longer
because you can see the results.
If you can see the result, and I think Singaporeans, although Lee Kuan Yew was, you could say he was dictatorial in some ways,
ruthless and
ruthless and all that, but the people, the Singaporeans, realize the benefit of his policies. So
they get the results.
Yes. Yeah.
But we probably need some, in the absence of a better word, revolutionary ideas for these parties to. But
how do we get that?
Well, we have been ruled by the same party, same group of people, people from the same background, came up and took the helm of the country, but we have not had anybody from Sabah or Sarawak so far to lead Malaysia.
I'm okay with that because I like Sarawak laksa. I'm okay. I like Abanjo. He speaks.
We're not going to make Sarawak laksa a national dish.
Yes,
but we want the leadership. It appears that leadership in Sarawak, especially, is working well.
It's more open.
It's more open. It's more conducive to the issues of the people, and they know. They seem to know what dictates, the interests of the people.
I'm okay with that. I think we should try everything, possible to effect this change. Because you see, for example, I'm disappointed with PAS in the sense that it's already about 60 years, or 70 years, 50 plus 20, 70 years.
70 years,
But PAS cannot just continue the same narrative and not wanting to have a broader support from the non-Muslim. If you want to govern.
You had to be in the mainstream.
You must get the mainstream support.
Support.
PAS must either get support from Sabah or from Sarawak or from Christians.
Well, from the West Coast people.
From the West Coast people too. But they don't seem to be interested. That's why it puzzles me. They keep on saying the same thing. They said this and that, same narrative. And if you don't get the support, broad-based support, how are you going to govern?
Well, you can't. The problem with them is that they tend to focus on petty issues, which is not the interest of the majority in the country. And if you play up petty issues, you pick up on every time there's a concert in KL, you speak up. And then you criticize the way people dress and that sort of thing. Those are petty issues which they should not focus on. I mean, the 43 seats in parliament, you're not supposed to be doing things like that. You should focus on major issues that are affecting the people in the country. There are a lot of issues. There are a lot of issues in the country. For instance, there was silence. They were silent during the COVID-19. Some of the issues that came up in the media some days ago was about a group of University Malaya teachers and academic staff who took the trouble to file their case in the court. And because the government make it mandatory for them to have vaccine. But they took it to court, and the court now decided that there shouldn't be any judicial review. So, which I think is not right. So, but no political parties, including PAS, take issue on this one. Because this is important issue for the whole country. Right?
I agree with you because why are they so? This issue of vaccine, mandatory use of vaccine. I think this is a worldwide trend
It's-
now. People do reject mandatory
Yeah.
vaccination. They
Yeah.
don't want it.
They don't want it.
because they say it's my body.
Yeah, of course. It's against your human
and,
rights.
Not only that, these are all experimental drugs.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I mean, of course, if you ask Pfizer and Zeneca, they all love it because
Yeah.
they make billions of dollars. But
course.
as a government, as a responsible government,
Yeah.
we have to look at other options. I mean, people who do not want to vaccinate may want to do other approaches,
Yeah,
other medicine, other herbal drugs, other whatever.
That's right. Yeah.
And so you can say, oh, those are things don't work, but it's for them to decide.
Yeah.
Because if Djokovic don't want to use,
Yeah. Yeah.
then if Djokovic, you say it's okay for Djokovic not to vaccinate, then you must say the same thing to us.
To us, yeah.
Although we are not the number one
Yeah,
sportsman
yeah,
in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. But coming back to the issue,
yeah,
that they don't
so
champion.
political parties don't champion some of these issues. So which means that people think that they are not interested, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the capability. So that reflects on their leadership. So if that sort of leadership that you have, so nobody going to go and vote for them.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
You don't carry our agenda, so therefore we don't vote for you.
Yeah. This is why I said pass. If only they can be more accommodative,
More inclusive.
more inclusive.
Yeah.
I mean, you are a religious party, so you know that religion is important for you.
Well,
But the other people also have the same view.
yeah.
So you should then say all Christians, all Buddhists, all religion, let's get together because we all serve God.
Yeah.
Or rather, we believe in God, or we do whatever that's necessary. But we do our own way. I thought that's what the Quran says.
Yeah.
To each his own. I mean, that's my understanding of Islam.
Yeah.
We don't force on people.
Yeah.
And if that is the line past day, I think they would have got support from everybody else.
Yeah.
But they make criticism about a jingle bell. They make criticism about Merry Christmas greeting,
Writing on the cake.
writing on the cake. I mean, this is why they're not getting the broad support.
Yeah, they're not getting the broad support.
So I hope 2024 ni,
Yeah.
past leaders
Yeah.
find a way to be more.
Accommodating.
Yeah, they should go and see Abanjo, for example, in Sarawak,
Yeah.
because Sarawak is mainly Christian country.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
they should participate in a Christmas celebration.
yeah, they should go and see Abanjo, see how we can work together.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, now of course they cannot go because the Abanjo will say you don't come here.
Yeah.
That's because of their past policies.
I mean, if Jokowi can go and officiate a church in Papua,
Yeah.
why can't past leaders do the same?
No, but the thing is this, from Kota Baru, I tell you, when Aziz was alive,
Yeah.
and I was MP, I used to follow him, accompany him when he visited temples.
Huh?
He visited the Thai
Thai,
temple, the
Yeah.
Chinese temple,
Yeah.
celebration.
Yeah.
Aziz would do that. But that's why I thought, how come
The current crop of
the
past
current
leaders.
crowd leaders distance themselves
Yeah.
from other religions?
Yeah.
It is very strange.
Yeah, I think Malaysia is multiracial. So if you want to be the leader for Malaysia, you have to be accommodating and inclusive
Yeah.
for the rest of the country citizens as well. So,
But no, that's past. Okay,
Yeah,
we just.
that's-
I don't want to be seen as bashing past.
no,
We are
no,
talking
not.
for
We are-
their
we-
benefit.
Yeah, we are.
For
We
their
are.
benefit.
We are this is constructive
What
criticism.
about UMNO? What do you think they should do?
Well,
Or
like I mentioned-
2024, or should they just be the same?
like I said, as a brand, UMNO is in a decline.
Okay.
It's a decline. So how far do you go before you can come up? So that's the question. You don't want to end up in an abyss. No end to the decline. So at some point you have to make that decision, and the decision I think will come from the top. So the leadership is very important for the party. So if the leadership remain the same, there's no change, there's no new blood coming in, and so on, I think the rate of decline will continue. There's a big strategy that need to be done.
Yeah, I was thinking UMNO needs a real shift. And I think that's the only
Or the PMX, we say paradigm shift.
PMX says paradigm shift. Okay. I don't know what shift, but it has to be a major seismic shift.
Yeah.
I was thinking, why didn't Anwar take over UMNO? After all, he was there. His brand is UMNO brand. Okay, now he has,
Yeah.
put it in a veneer. He's put it a more PKR.
But
liberal,
UMNO is not multiracial. It's,
no, wait a minute.
yeah.
Wait a minute. He makes UMNO multiracial.
You can.
No, I mean that sort of thing. Why can't he do that? After all, PKR is not actually a Malay party.
All you need to do is change the United Malaysian National Organization.
No, but UMNO's constitution already accepts non-Muslim.
Yeah.
In Sabah, there are some non-Muslim.
Yeah.
So you're already there.
Yeah. You're almost there.
You're almost there.
Yeah.
So why can't the Prime Minister, in his wisdom, all he needs a bit of it, after all, he's a buddy-buddy with the deputy president,
Yeah.
or rather the president,
Yeah.
why don't you just take over the party on terms, acceptable terms, Take over, merge with PKR, make it into a broader, and then after that, take over Bersatu as well. I think Anwar should take over Malay parties. That's the only way to trigger a change. Let me tell you this. I'm a great believer in that nothing will change unless something drastic happens.
Yeah.
I believe in
Yeah.
that. Nothing will change. Nothing changed in France in 1780
Yeah.
until there's no bread in the shop. And then the people start marching and they start cutting the king's neck and all that.
Yeah.
So something drastic like that. But we don't want that to happen here.
No.
But Singapore has the same experience. Do you know that Singapore in the 50s is actually a very socialist, communist kind of cells?
Yeah.
Until Lee Kuan Yew came and dismantled everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And brought the country where it is today.
Yeah.
Now we have to have a
set
leader.
a new direction for the country.
We have to have a leader that cut the knot, put the pieces together, and put a new formula for unity.
Yeah.
It's not just unity in parliament. Unity in parliament is easy.
You
just take care of some people, you get unity.
Yeah.
I'm talking about unity.
The real unity.
The real unity that drives the country forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I hope in 2024.
So it's down to the leadership. You're saying it's down to the
Prime
leadership?
Minister at the moment.
Yeah.
Because he's the most powerful man in this country. Nobody else has got power.
Yeah.
But perhaps the new king, I don't know. But
Yeah.
If speaking politically, I think Anwar should take the initiative to bring the people together. PAS, UMNO, Bersatu, whatever. And then for once, say, okay, this is what we agree. A kind of a national congress kind of thing. We agree on this. And then everybody agrees. That's the first step.
Yeah.
Of course, it will take years to change.
Yeah.
But at least there is some movement.
Yeah.
You're just letting things go by. You're just letting, then the next election will come.
Yeah.
And then you will then juggle the seats.
Yeah.
And then you get the majority.
So we are back to square one.
We're back to square.
There's no, we are not setting the right scene.
No.
We're not setting the right direction. So
we're just getting 112.
Yeah.
The magic number.
The magic number. Yeah.
So politics in our country is getting 112.
Yeah.
That cannot be the raison d'etre of our survival.
You can't.
Future.
Yeah. You have to set the agenda. You have to set the direction for everybody to follow.
So okay, now I told you just now that there are some. There's the new party, the Green Party.
The
Indian.
There's a new Indian party as well.
Yeah. I think there are probably a few more.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we should invite them here. What do you think?
Yeah, that'd be a good discussion. Yeah.
We invite them and then...
Why they decide to form party in the first place?
Because I think there's no other way to go. I don't know. You have to ask them.
But there are small parties don't get elected in Malaysia. Very difficult to get elected.
No. It's okay. But when you have many small ones, maybe it's different. Let's say, for example, one party has 2 seats. Let's say.
Okay.
So if you have 10, you have 20 already. Which is what the big parties get today. UMNO has got 26 only for all its history.
Yeah.
So I think that's how they're looking at it.
Right.
They break up the population, the political groups. That is one way of change. But I think I would prefer...
It's a slow process.
Slow process.
Very slow one.
Yeah, slow process. I would prefer a bit more... like a corporate kind of merger. You know?
Merger, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, merger and acquisition.
Merger acquisition. You pay the right price, of course. You pay
said
the right price, and
Yeah.
you have a plan.
Yeah.
You know, you have a plan, and I think that's what we need.
Yeah.
That's the kind of leadership we need, and it is. I mean, imagine 2 years' time election. What, 2 years? Was it
2026.
3 more years? Yeah, and then we'll be scrambling for seats again, and scrambling for some MPs. Oh, I support this PM. I support this PM.
Yeah.
And then there'll be some juggling here, some give, some concession here, some concession
yeah,
there, and
yeah,
then we
yeah.
go on to the next level.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so there's no
certainly
end
not
to it.
satisfactory. One last thing before we end the session, political parties.
Yeah.
Why is it that? This is the part that I mean, if you look at the party that's got solid base,
Right.
you have PAS,
Yeah.
you have
DAP.
DAP,
Yeah.
and then you have Sarawak.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sarawak is solid.
Yeah.
Sabah, I wouldn't say
Fractured.
solid.
Fractured.
I think Sabah,
Fractured, yeah.
Sabah is a bit. So you have these three parties: Sarawak, DAP, and PAS.
Yeah.
If we cannot get this big reorganization I was talking about,
Yeah.
why can't the leaders of these three parties sit down? After all, DAP
Yeah.
was with PAS before.
Yeah. They
So,
were,
you know, there'll be some difference now because Naz is not around, but
Yeah.
you still can sort it out.
yeah.
And for the Chinese in Sarawak, okay, they may have Kuching and a few other seats,
Yeah,
but surely they can benefit more with the government in Sarawak.
Yeah.
So I hope if it is DAP is 45, PAS is 40 something too,
43 years.
80. And Sarawak has already got something like
30 plus. Yeah. 30.
that's almost the magic number.
Magic number. Yeah.
So why can't everybody start looking at this permutation, a workable permutation,
Yeah.
and carve out the policies according to?
Well, like I said, give the leadership to Sarawak. We try.
Whatever that works.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's okay. You can have a Sarawak, you can have a Chinese, you can have a Dayak, you can have anybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, yeah.
As long as he's good,
Yeah.
and as long as he can bring this country
Yeah.
to the next level.
Yeah. You don't have to have a Malay PM, right?
No, I don't believe. It's just like it's just like saying, do you need a Malay headmaster?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
If
true.
it was a Malay headmaster, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Because the headmaster who gave me help
Yeah.
was this Bai fellow.
Yeah,
this Punjabi fellow when I was in primary school. I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
So I'm not into this race thing.
Yeah. Race thing.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes, yes, you need to take care of your people
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you understand them more. But
Yeah.
generally, if you're running a country or organization, you just need good people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
That's,
The moment we have too many formula,
yeah.
you must be this, must be that. It would happen.
It doesn't work. Yeah. It get too complicated.
Yeah. No, I think that's about it.
Don't forget to.
I want to wish you a Happy New Year again. Yes.
Don't forget to share.
Don't
forget to like
follow us, and don't forget to click, to share, to like,
and to subscribe.
to subscribe,
Yeah.
and to do that all the time, so that you make us happy. Do you think?
Yeah.
We should be happy with support. Yeah, we should be happy.
Yeah. We are very up to date.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.